Do you know that the sanitary pads now essential for women were actually invented for men? Yes, it may come as a shock, but it's absolutely true. Today, we will explore the complete story behind it. We'll also dive deep into how sanitary pads were invented, what changes have occurred in the product over the years, and how artificial intelligence enabled sanitary pads will function in the future. We will also look at what women around the world used before the invention of sanitary pads. And most importantly, we'll try to understand why sanitary pads are so crucial for women. But friends, before we get into these fascinating and informative details, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. So let's begin. Sanitary pads were originally made for men. When this product was used for the first time, the sound of bullets echoed all around. The year was 1914. During World War I, soldiers were getting wounded and nurses began using a new material to clean their wounds, that is cellulose, a super absorbent substance. Its specialty, it absorbed blood rapidly. Female nurses working in the war discovered that this material wasn't just useful for treating the wounds, it could also be incredibly effective during their own menstrual cycles. So these nurses started using these cellulose bandages during their periods and found them far better than the clothes. And that marked the beginning of a new era. In 1920, the Kimberly-Clark Company used leftover war supplies to launch the first commercial sanitary pad under the name Kotex. The price at that time was 10 cents per pad, which was considered a luxury for women, as 10 cents was a significant amount back then. But do you know what did women use before sanitary pads? In ancient times, the materials women had to use during the menstruation were highly inconvenient and unhygienic by today's standards. In Egypt, women used papyrus, which was an aquatic plant that grew near the Nile River. Its stem was cut and the soft inner layers were used. Though it was quite effective then, but was very inconvenient. Women in Greece used cotton wrapped around small wooden sticks. In Japan, normal paper was folded multiple times and used by the female in menstrual cycles. In India, old cloth pieces were washed and reused. Whereas in Africa and other Asian countries, grass, sand, banana leaves, wool, and even wood shavings were used. Most of these methods led to infections and discomfort. But the biggest barrier was social taboos associated with the menstruation. Let's discuss about the social taboos around the menstruation. In Nepal, the chopdi system forced menstruating girls to live in cattle sheds. After many deaths, it was criminalized in 2018. In many regions, girls still don't attend schools during their periods. These kind of customs made life during menstruation extremely difficult and limited for women. Though progress has been made and many such practices have been abolished, but some orthodox traditions still persist in certain communities. And good thing is that the organizations like the Pad Project and Red Tent Movement are spreading the awareness about it. Dear friends, you might not have time to campaign full time, but by sharing this video, you can make a real difference. So please help us to reach more people with this effort. So, when do women started using sanitary pads? What was once made for men became a necessity for women, but at what cost? In the 1920s, Kotex entered the market, but society wasn't ready. Even after sanitary pads were introduced, acceptance was very difficult. Periods were seen as dirty, impure, or even a curse. Women feared being judged as bad or shameless for using pads. In countries like India and Africa, they were considered a luxury item. Women hesitated even to look the shopkeeper in the eye, and shopkeepers would wrap pads in the black polythene and hand them over quietly. At first, Kotex wasn't openly sold. Women had to drop coins into the vending machines to pick up pads silently. Talking about periods was considered shameful, but working women slowly started adopting them. It gave them the freedom to work, go out, and attend the schools. So, do you know what early sanitary pads would look like? Yes, they had no adhesive on them. Women had to tie or hook them to their underwears. They often slipped while walking or running. This made them so uncomfortable that many women avoided using them altogether. Now the question comes, how did society view sanitary pads? In some countries, they were seen as sinful, while in others as a symbol of women's freedom. Even today, many women in India, Africa and the Middle East still don't use sanitary pads. Why? Due to lack of awareness, poverty and shame. For a long time, women used clothes, ash and even mud in some of the Asian countries. But things began to change in India thanks to Arunachalam Muruganantham, a humble man known as Padman. He created affordable sanitary pads, tested them himself and distributed them in villages, gifting dignity to countless women. And friends, if someone in your community or an NGO has done something like this, tell us in the comments. We will make a full video on their work. So now let's discuss about the current scenario. How many women use pads today? Even in the 21st century, 50% of women are still away from the sanitary pads. Shocking, but it's true. Today, only about 36% of Indian women use sanitary pads regularly. In rural areas, the number is even lower. In contrast, USA and Europe, over 85% of women uses them. But the good news is, many NGOs, schools and governments are now speaking up openly about it. Even advertisements and movies have helped change the narrative, and earlier ads used to show blue liquid instead of blood. The word period wasn't even spoken. Now times have changed. Celebrities openly talk about it. In 2010, Bodyform of the UK showed red blood in an ad for the first time. That was an iconic step forward during that time. The globally sanitary product industry is now worth over $20 billion. We now have biodegradable, reusable pads, menstrual cups, and even smart tech pads. Let's talk about the sanitary pad revolution over the years. Today, sanitary pads are customized based on their needs, such as nighttime pads, light flow pads for teens, sport pads for active women, high absorption postpartum pads. And what do you think? Do men still use sanitary pads today or not? What was once made for men, do men still use it? You might be surprised to learn that men still use sanitary pads, but for different purposes. Army and special forces carry pads to stop emergency bleeding. Athletes use them as padding for injuries, and transgender men and people who menstruate also find them essential. So what will be the future of biodegradable and smart pads? Today's plastic-based pads can take 500 to 800 long years to decompose, posing a serious environmental threat. But good thing is that future pads will solve this problem. Future pads may be made of banana fiber, bamboo, jute and corn fiber, which would be 100% compostable and chemical free. Let's discuss little about the smart sanitary pads for the future. These pads won't just absorb blood, they will monitor women's health as well. Those would be equipped with the nanosensors to measure flow quantity and blood quality. They may be able to detect signs of infections like UTIs or cancer and send alerts to a mobile app. Data can be shared with doctors for faster diagnosis. Sanitary pads integration with artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. AI will offer personalized cycle predictions and health tips. For an example, your period is due in 3 days. Would you like to keep a pad in your bag? A woman may receive a message on her phone in one morning. Reusable and smart menstrual products. Reusable pads and menstrual cups will become more advanced, hygienic and user-friendly. Future fabrics will self-clean and even disinfect using solar power. But my dear friends, in spite of all this good and informative knowledge, the most important thing is ending the shame around the menstruation. Until we talk openly about it, half the population will remain silent. Therefore friends, to spread awareness on this vital topic, we humbly request you to share this video with at least 3 people in your group. Your small action can make a big impact. If you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. We'll keep bringing you more unheard, untold stories that will make you think of something good. So see you in the next video. Thank you.